here. You're ready. Welcome to my world.
Hello everybody, I'm Ghost of Sparta, and I'm here with another fantastic unboxing and review of the Figma action figure series, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Link. We're going to take a look at paint apps, sculpt, articulation, and accessories. So make sure to stay tuned through the whole review so you can get your full fill of this figure. Now make sure to check out the links in the description below for all my social media sites so that way you can stay up to date with this channel. I do post up updates right there so that way you can keep in touch and you know what's going on and what you would expect from the next review or video. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It doesn't take too much. It's free of charge and it helps support the channel tremendously. Well, since we got all that out of the way, let's get to those size comparisons. Here are the size comparisons that this Twilight Princess Link from Figma looks like with some other figures from the line. So we have Link compared to SH Figurarts Goku, the Gold Ranger from Hasbro's Lightning Collection, Marvel Legends Deadpool, Imagineworks Goku, and NECA Predator. So you guys can see where he falls in line if you wanted to display him with other figures. If you guys like this whole size comparison that I do, please hit that like button. I want to know if I should keep doing it or should I make it a little bit different. So we have Link in hand and we're able to look at the sculpt work and paint. So sculpt work wise, I feel that they were able to sculpt this figure very nicely. We can see the detail they were able to sculpt in with the leather belts. We also have his forearm guard, and then we have the sculpt work of the sleeves with the chainmail underneath, and we have the chainmail on the side right here. This is a rubbery plastic, so it's able to move to help with articulation. And then we also have the sculpt work to the face. I mean, it really does look like Link from the video game. We have his ears right there. I just love the detail they were able to put in on every little piece. Now Figma is a very nice company to buy figures for. They very seldom do reissues. This is a reissued figure from back in the day. I think the original one came out like in 2009 or 2010. I could be wrong, but I love how this one comes out. Now this is the deluxe version. I don't know if I mentioned that, so I'll go over the differences from the deluxe and also from the original, which is pretty much the accessories. But look at the sculpt work. You can see that there's some muscle definition around it. We have also some pleatedness or folds for the tunic to let you know that it's, you know, the way it's laying. And wow, it's just great the way that they're able to get all this detail. Even on the boots, you can see right here that there are also some detail on the boots around it. Hopefully the camera's picking it up, but there is some like drawing or texture on the boots, so that way you can see that they actually thought about everything. This peggle right here is for the stand. This one in the back is obviously for his swords that you can mount on him for storage, weapon storage. But look at those eyes. The paint apps look really nice. The green is a nice dark forest green. I think in the game it was about a dark forest green. And then we have the golds here for his chainmail underneath. I didn't know Link wore chainmail. I think it was just for Twilight Princess, but it would make sense for him to have chainmail if he's using swords and shields in that case. I mean, obviously this is a fantasy world. There's nothing real life about it, but yeah, you could tell that. But the colors and the paint apps look really nice. This is a nice little dark blue or navy blue here. We also have the same color here for his other forearm strap, and they were able to get these details in there really nicely. We have the pants, nice muted gray here. Looks really nice. So I love the fact that they were able to get this figure and pretty much pull him out of the video game for everybody. So let's take a look at his articulation. Head moves up, moves down, swivel, arm rotation, butterfly joint, swivel, rotation, bend at the elbow, swivel, hinge, diaphragm joint back, forward, side to side, waist swivel, leg kicks forward, leg kicks back. Lincoln is his adventurous spread, swivel, bend at the knee, swivel, hinge, toe hinge. So this version of Link comes with 4 pairs of hands. As you can see, he has his 2 fisted hands that don't have any holes in it. Then he has 2 other fisted hands that do have some holes in it, so that way you can place any of his weapons that he needs to grapple on. And then he has 2 open palm hands up here on the top, and then he has a hand just for his arrow that he comes with, and then he has like kind of like a gesture pointing finger that you can use to display him in. So the detail on the hands are really nice. One thing about Figma that they do that I really appreciate from them is that they give you this little piece here. It's a little piece of plastic that you're able to peg the hands in, and you could use it to store it inside the box or anywhere else, so that way you don't lose them all. So I think that's really nice. They also give you a little plastic bag so that way you can put them in. I've done other Figma reviews, so you guys could check those out in the link in the description. You can also check out in the upper right hand corner over here for the card for my other Figma reviews. But yeah, I really do appreciate that they give that. That's something that's different from all other companies. They don't want you to lose the pieces. They want you to really enjoy the figure and make sure you have all its parts with it. Now let's go on to the rest of the accessories. Alrighty, so if you got the original version of this Link, that's not the deluxe version, these are pretty much the last bit of accessories plus his two faces. That's all you would get is the hands that I just showed you, and then you would get this sword, which is the Master Sword, and the Hyrulean shield, and then you would get his two face plates. So pretty much from other than this, the rest of the stuff is what comes into the deluxe version that we'll go over. So let's take a look at the Master Sword, and I really liked how they used the peg system for this, because the last Link that I had, I think it was Wind Waker, I can't remember, but when you unpeg this, it's just a solid peg. This is how you get the sword handle into his hand. You don't try to force it or bend the plastic over it. You slide it through the hole here, and then you just plug it in. Now what's good about this, it doesn't have like a puzzle piece. It's just a solid peg. If you look right here, you can see that it's just a nice little solid peg. There's no puzzle piece into it, so you just plug it in after you have the hand installed, and then you could basically put this on him. Now the detail of the Master Sword looks really nice. I like how they use the nice metallic blues. The sword looks very metallic as well. You can see some nice golds and yellows in there. We also have some greens as well, and you can see the detail on the sword that they were able to put in. I just love how they do that. Let's look at the sheath itself. It has all the right details. You got the Triforce there, you got the buckle that's supposed to be there that holds it in place. We have the peg. Now be very careful. I've seen a lot of people break this peg, so really be very delicate with it. It does get broken super easily. I've seen it happen to people that have Dragon Ball Z figures with Trunks, and also this figure as well. But look at the way that the blue and gold complement each other, and the Triforce, one of the favorite and most iconic symbols that are out there. So it looks really nice. Let's take a look at the Hyrulean shield. It's nice and silver. You can tell it has the metallic paint. We got the Triforce once again. We have the Hyrule symbol here, and then you can see all the rest of the silver. Now take a look at the back. You can see it has all these holes. We have the straps. So this is how we would hold it. You would disconnect this piece here, unplug here, and then that's how you would slide his hand in there. Now if you want it to be on his back like you would in the video game, you would take this off and then you would unplug it here. Now this is for you to switch his hands. That's the reason why all the peg holes are there. You pretty much switch it over to whichever design you want, but this is how you would do it, and then you would slip it behind the sheath like so, and then plug it in. It has a little stopping point there, and then you would plug it in, and then that's how you would store his shield on his back. So let's take a look at the rest of the accessories. So we got to the last bit of accessories that this deluxe version comes with, and that's a lot. That's a lot of accessories for the price point of the Figma figures and the quality that they are. This is awesome. I mean, the paint apps are great. I can't get over how awesome it is. So let's take a look. So we have this other sword here. I can't remember if this is the sword you start off with, because I know most Zelda games you don't always start off with the Master Sword. But we can see here this also goes into the sheath, and I like that. I like the fact that they make it where the sword actually goes completely inside of the sheath, because it's good weapon storage. I hate when they give us two sheaths and one of them is completely empty, or it's just one sheath and only they give you like a little fraction piece of the sword where it only goes this far in. And yeah, just horrible. So this one also unpegs as well. No puzzle peg, it's just a round hole, so you're able to just slide it in very nicely. There's some nice red detail for the handle. The hilt has a nice detail as well. We can see some of the rust, it looks like, that's on the actual I think it's called a handguard. And then we can look at the sheath itself. There's also some leather buckles here. There's some silver. We got some nice reds and browns, some more silver there. So this is a really nice accessory, and I love the fact that they gave us this in the deluxe version. We also have the peg here. Once again, be very careful with those pegs, guys, because they do break. Let's take a look at his bow right here. So here's his bow that he uses. Now one of the hands actually is able to hold the arrow for that. So once again, this unpegs here, slide the hand through so that way you can grasp it, and then plug this back in, and then he's holding his bow as well. Now look at the detail. You can see like the wood brown detail. We have some metal as well. They did a really good job depicting and being accurate from the video game. We also have his arrow here. We can see the feathers there. Now be very careful. This point is sharp. I poked myself earlier. I thought I was going to bleed, but I didn't. And here's the hand that would peg in right here. This little piece is a peg. It doesn't come off. It's part of the arrow, but this pegs into one of the hands for the arrow. Actually, I can show it to you right here. It's the one that looks like he's about to hit you with his knuckles. But this one has a peg in it, as you can see. And then you just, well, not a peg, but a hole for a peg, and you just plug this in like so. Just be very careful, and then that's how you would hold the arrow, so that we can have him hold the bow as well, and then it looks like he's about to shoot it. So that's really neat that they offered that accessory as well. Then we have his grappling hook here. Now let's see here, this piece, something about, there we go, this comes off, and then you could slide his hand in here, right here, slide his hand in, and then you're able to plug it back in to make him hold. This one does have a key piece, so keep that in mind that you do line it up. So if you don't line it up, you're gonna end up messing it up and breaking the peg. So you can see the rust detail for the grappling hook. We also have some silver for the chain, because that's where it's wrapped around. And this one just pegs in like so. Now if you want to make it look like he already has shot and extended it, you would take this little peg out here with the front piece, and then you would put this peg in as in its place, and then it would look like it was shot out. Now this is a metal chain, which the detail on is really nice. We still have the bronze and the I guess you want to call it the patina, the rusting that they put on the actual grappling hook, so that way you can see the detail. It's really metallic and shiny paint, and there's some good detail on there. So it's really nice that they gave us this. I do appreciate it. You know, when they give a figure a bunch of accessories, it just means the world to me, and also to any other collector, because you have options on how you want to display him. Finally, last but not least, he has another, I guess this is called like a mace that he comes with. Now, mind you, this figure does come with two stands. He has a stand here, and then he has another stand that's in its package that I kept in there, and it comes with some other accessories, so that way you can use the stand to be able to hold this piece right here. As you can see, there's a plug there, so that we can make it look like he's actually using it. But it looks really nice. His hand would go here and hold it, and then you can have him twirl it around his body like he normally would in the game. But look at the metallic blue that they used for this. It looks really nice. We can also see that there's some golds, and there's a bunch of detail for it. And they did a great job showing off everything they could for this. So last but not least, there's this three face sculpts. You get three no matter which version you actually pick up, because they're universal. I mean, you have his screaming face here, and I mean the eyes are painted beautifully. They have his nice blue eye color in there, and you can see the detail inside the mouth. And then he has his kind of just normal face, not really doing anything, just kind of there. And then he has also an angry face here, and the one way you could tell is by the grin on his mouth. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. For some reason it just keeps playing around. So he has a kind of like a grin, but the thing is like the grin, I guess they're trying to show his teeth, but it almost looks like he's wearing like blue lipstick, in my opinion. So he does have his iconic hairpiece that goes on there, but if you wanted to, one of the other parts of getting the deluxe version, you get his owl eyes that he used inside the game. I can't remember what it was for. If you guys know, please let me know in the description, in the comments below. I would really like to know or remember what these were used for. So we have the owl eyes there, and they're really detailed, and they just fit over any of these faces. You know, they just peg into his actual face here, his head. I could actually show you real quick. Let's get this one right here. Just pegs in, and then where his hair would go is where you would put the owl eyes, and they just peg in. No crazy big effort, and that's it. And then you can display him with those if you so fit. So yeah, I mean, Figma did a really good job with this figure. Let's go to my final thoughts. They also give you a peg real quick. They give you a peg just in case you break one of the wrist pegs. So I like that a lot. So let's go to my final thoughts. Now, after reviewing and unboxing this figure, my final thoughts on this figure is fantastic. There's nothing bad I can say about this figure. There's nothing I could say that I wanted from this figure. I guess there'd be one thing. I wish it would have came with a ruby, and I also wish it came with just one of his bombs. Those would have been awesome. Other than that, the rest of the accessories are great. I mean, those two other accessories, whatever, you could probably do that later. And, you know, a lot of companies miss out on the fact that they can expand on these figures by making an accessory set. I think NECA's the only one that's kind of doing that with the Ninja Turtles. I don't understand why more companies don't do that and make like an accessory set, you know, where you can expand and use more things to be able to display your figure with. But paint apps, articulation, accessories, all those things are there. This figure gets a great A+. Even the price is right spot on, where it doesn't feel it's too expensive and you're not getting your money's worth. So I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you for listening to me and reviewing this figure for you guys. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Hitting the like button, I know, doesn't cost too much. It's absolutely free, and same thing with subscribing, but it does help this channel tremendously. But please, let's get to 600 likes. I would really appreciate that. And then also leave me a comment below on what you thought about this figure, and if you do pick up this figure yourself. With all that being said, I will see everybody on the next review.